We are at Port Zante, where the Celebrity Summit, the first cruise ship to visit St. Kitts at Port Zante since the start of the pandemic last year, 2020. There are a number of stores, retail operations that are in what is called a bubble, meaning that the area is fenced around so that visitors cannot enter into downtown Bastia. And at the same token, nationals cannot simply walk onto Port Zante at this time. So the idea is to protect the local population from any possibility or any transfer of COVID-19 should that be the case. Now what we have here also is a number of restaurants, local restaurants who normally cater for downtown clients. Some of them are in the bubble as well, and that means that the local population cannot go to their establishments at this point in time. So the fencing will only be put up anytime there is the arrival of a cruise ship, and that will be the case from now on until other circumstances change and they can do away with that fencing. But the idea is that tour operators, local tour operators, are getting the opportunity to take persons on various tours on the island. For example, to Carabel Batty to Brimstone Hill. So visitors would have registered beforehand, before arrival, and would have taken the tours down to those entities, and when they get back, they go back onto the ship. There are other persons who do not want to go on the tour but may want to do some shopping. They can do that by simply coming into the bubble area on Port Zante. I believe what you can see is that the ship came in sometime early this morning, sometime just before 8 o'clock. And as usual, there is a disembarkation process that all visitors must go through before they actually go onto the tours. Now, the other thing that I want to mention is that the testing of cruise visitors now include what is called the rapid antigen test. And so at the Miami port, where they are embarking to come onto the tours, they first of all would have had to have the RT-PCR test, and they also do a rapid antigen test at the terminals, and they also do another test on the cruise ship before actually coming to port. If by any chance there is COVID-19 among passengers and it is above a certain percentage, I believe it's around 1 or 2%, then the ship will not be allowed to dock. So the fact that it is here, docked at the pier, means that if there's any COVID situations on board, it is not above that percentage. I believe also that most times you're going to have a number of monitoring processes, not only from the local end, the local Ministry of Tourism, which will be monitoring how the whole process works to make sure that if there are any gaps, they will be able to fill those gaps, and to make sure that it is workable and attract other cruise lines to St. Kitts. And in the same token, the cruise lines will be waiting to see exactly what happens in St. Kitts and Nevis with regards to this first visit, and it will determine how the negotiations go for other cruise lines in the future. The return of cruise ships to Port Zante comes after months of preparation and discussion among officials of the Ministry of Health, Tourism, and many stakeholders of the industry, along with the cruise line partners. Minister Lindsey Grant spoke to SKN Newsline about what it meant for his ministry and for the country.
The real issue here is the safety and of the passengers and whom they would meet up with in St. Kitts, which are the taxi operators, the tour operators, etc. They have not been in this industry over the last 18 months that we went on a hiatus as a consequence of the pandemic. I think right now we are slowly starting to rebuild the cruise industry again, hopefully to get back to our numbers as we had in 2018 and 2019. Both years we had 1 million passengers. Obviously, we have to be very cautious and manage the expectations because it's not business as usual, and we seek to rebuild the industry. We are grateful for Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines and the brand celebrity Equinox to be here. It took us some time, months of preparation by the Ministry of Health, the task force, the security forces, the ministries of tourism, and the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, the St. Christopher and People's Authority. So it really was all of society approach, a combined effort by all the institutions of government, and we are grateful that today has been a success so far. As far as I'm advised, there have been no hiccups really, and so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that at the end of the day we'll have a successful day.
Certainly, citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis will be hoping for a healthy return of the cruise industry to St. Kitts because so much of the economy is based around the visit of cruise passengers, the activities that are associated even at the beaches, in restaurants, and in other bits of activities around the island. It supports the economy and supports a healthier lifestyle for St. Kitts and Nevis. This is Glenn Barrett reporting for SKN Newsline.